Have you ever just wondered what it would be like if you just stopped chasing after everything and everyone and just allowed things to just naturally be? Well, that's what detachment really is. Detachment isn't about giving up or apathy, it's just simply quiet confidence. It's about knowing that what is meant for you will come into alignment with the version of who you are and who you're becoming. It's about choosing peace over panic. So, I wanted to share a story, a little short story. It's about a old friend of mine. I'm not really sure if we're still friends. I don't consider us to be, but basically, this friend, we've known each other for a minute. We met at work and stuff like that. But we've had our ups and downs, and I haven't been the perfect friend either. But I still cared for her, and I would do my best to do what I needed to do to be a better friend. So anyway, let's just get into it. So we haven't spoke for about a minute because there was a situation that had arisen, and the situation was pertaining to her ex, and her ex is now dating someone else. So she was upset about this situation. She didn't like it, and she was hurt because he posted the other girl, but he didn't post her. And so it was just certain things that were just going on, and she was just upset about it. And considering that she is pregnant and things of that nature, I can understand that her hormonal moods were going through the roof, right? So basically what ended up happening was she we all went out with another friend of ours, mutual friend or whatever. We went out, and basically we had posted, we did this video, and she wanted me to post the video. And remind you, this video that she wanted me to post, it was just me and her. But the reason she wanted me to post the video is because he had blocked her on social media, right? Previously, he blocked her on social media. And so she wanted me to go and look on my social media to see if he blocked me, but he didn't. So at the time, I was still friends with him. So she wanted to record a video of her and I at dinner, and basically post it. She wanted me to post it and to see if he'd look at it. I don't know. She knew that he wasn't going to react to it, but I felt like it was more of her feeling like, okay, I need this validation. This is something where I need to feel like, okay, like maybe if he did see the story, or if he did see it or whatever, just to post it just for her own, basically, I don't know, I guess for her own esteem, just to boost her self-esteem, whatever it was going to give her a sense of validation, I want to say. So basically what ended up happening was I told her I posted. She told me, if you don't post it, I'm gonna cry. Now I told her I would post it, but then later that night I didn't end up posting the video. I didn't post the video for two reasons. One, I was tired, and two, I had actually thought it through, and I was like, what is this gonna prove? So she got upset with me, and when we talked about the situation, she kind of distanced herself from me, and she told me, she said, you know what, I feel like when you ask me to do things, I do it, but when I ask you to do one little thing, you don't do it, so now I have to rethink this friendship. So it left me feeling like I was the problem. It left me feeling like, am I not being a good friend because I didn't support the situation, because I didn't post the video? And a lot of people might agree. A lot of people might be like, oh, but friends are supposed to have friends' backs and this, that, and the third, girl code. And to me, I think it's a bunch of bullshit. And the reason I say it's a bunch of BS is because, a lot of people don't realize that when you decide to say no, it's like, or if you no longer are doing those, if you're no longer acting out in a certain way that you used to act out in, or doing things that you used to do, and when you finally decide to actually find who you really are, go deep into yourself and start reflecting about how you want to be and how you want to be, how you want to show up in the world, people get upset. They do, And so what ended up happening was I ended up talking to her, and when she told me that, I had talked to my therapist, and my therapist told me, I don't even think it's worth it, because she was trying to use you. And I got some people told me, well, if you were a friend, you know, we all use each other. And if you were a friend, I mean, friends do, if a friend is going to do something for another friend, they do it, right? But what was that going to prove in the end? Towards the end, what was that going to prove? I don't think it was going to prove anything. If anything, I felt like, what was it bringing me except into a bunch of drama? But even still, he didn't care. So if he didn't care, why did you need that validation? And that's when I questioned, and I thought to myself, like, the mistake I made was telling her I would post the video. But then I later on did tell her, like, hey, she told me you could have told me that she wasn't going to post it. I did say I was going to post it, so I take responsibility for that. But later on I did tell her, my Instagram is my professional account, and me just posting a video like that, I don't see where this is going to, why, this is a account where I'm growing an audience, and this is where I do my business. I like to post my stories, or post about things that happen on an everyday basis in my life. So when she told me that she needed to distance herself, before she told me she needed to distance herself, because I myself would take things personal when she would tell me certain things in our friendship. And that was something that I had to start realizing, not to take things so personal, especially when someone is telling you the hardcore truth, right? So it was certain mistakes that I made. But in this particular situation, I just thought to myself, like, I don't know if this is worth it. So fast forward, recently I seen her, and we haven't spoken in about a few weeks. So recently I seen her, she was driving in, she was pulling up into work, because we work at the same place. And, she had ended up, turning left into the parking lot and parking on the far end of the parking lot. And a part of me wanted to go over there. The old version of me wanted to chase. The old version of me wanted to fix it. The old version of me was like, you know what? Let me just go over there. Let me hit her up. Let me do this. Let me do that. Da 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 da. Let me try to figure out a way that I could fix this situation, because I know that I'm the problem, right? I need to fix it. I'm always the problem. But the new version of me said no. The God within me said absolutely not. Because when you detach from people, when you detach emotionally, when you just detach overall, you were choosing peace. You were choosing your peace. You were knowing your worth. You're bringing back alignment into your reality. You're knowing that, I shouldn't have to chase after someone or need that validation to feel like I have to be wanted. Or I shouldn't have to say, I'm going to fix this situation. Like, I'm going to try to fix it and try to keep chasing after this individual. If it's meant for me, then it's meant for me. And if it's not, then that's okay. Right? Like, we want things and we say, oh, I want this specific person. Not saying that you won't get your specific person, but have you ever just thought about, you know what? I'm good with or without it. I'm okay. It's not that deep. It's not that serious. And actually, when you choose to detach from overall when you choose to detach from the desperation, the neediness, the chaos, when you choose to detach from that and take a step back, you call back in your power. You call back in your power. So if you're watching this video and you might have had a similar situation that you went through, or you're going through certain things, and it may seem like things are falling apart, I'm here to tell you that it's not falling apart. It's actually doors that are closing, and new opportunities, and a new way is opening. You're awakening, truly. Don't look at this situation or situations that you're going through as something negative, but rather reflect on it. If there's something that happens outside of you that you have no control over, then don't try to control it by trying to fix it all the time. We can't fix things that are outside of us. We can only focus on what's inward. We can only choose our peace. We can only choose ourselves. And I decided to, and because I'm in this new version of where I've embodied this state of love, embodied this state of knowing that I am already chosen, and that I am already remembered, and I am already missed. And what is for me will never miss me. And if it does, then it wasn't meant for me in the first place. So when you truly choose to detach, you are not saying that you no longer care, but you are deciding to become more in alignment with what's meant for you, what's meant for your path, what's meant for your destination, where you see yourself at within these next few years. So take a moment to reflect. Take a moment to, instead of getting upset, instead of choosing to react, choose to respond. Because there are certain situations that we are being tested. And we're being tested, especially when it comes to manifesting, especially when it comes to living in the wish fulfilled, living in the end. There are certain moments where the old story is going to probably come up one last time, just to see whether or not have we truly detached, have we truly embodied that feeling of feeling safe and secure within ourselves and not having to look outward for external validation, or not having to feel as if though we have to control everything that is outside of us, having to constantly text, having to constantly be available for other people, but we're lacking that availability for ourselves. The old story is going to challenge you. It's going to be a test. So you have to ask yourself, is this where you're going to get upset, react? Is this where you're going to say, you know what, I'm going to choose, I'm just going to go and try to do what's best. I'm going to say, you know what, F it, I don't want to lose this friendship, or I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do that. Sometimes walking away is the most powerful thing that you can do. Walking away is choosing your sanity. Walking away is saying, I have strength enough to know who I am and to know what I deserve, and I choose to walk away from this situation. Not saying that I don't care about that person or I no longer care, but I'm choosing not to care about the situation at hand because I know who I am. And that's where we mess up. We mess up because we think that when things are going bad in our life, or there's doors that are shutting on us, people that we used to talk to are those chapters are closing. People we used to talk to, used to gossip with, used to hang out with, we're thinking, oh, this person doesn't want to talk to me anymore, or this person, or maybe an old flame walked out, or maybe you something happened. I don't know what you're going through. But it could be situations that are arising every single day, and you're looking at it like, why is this happening? It's happening because it's building you to become stronger. You're mastering emotional intelligence. You're mastering who you are. This is your time to show up in class. This is your time to journal. This is your time to meditate. This is your time to become more in aligned with your true self, your higher self. So before I end this video, I want to say this. When something happens in your reality that might be the opposite of what you're manifesting, I want you to remember this. Ask yourself, me reacting to this, like me allowing this to, control how I feel. Am I helping myself? Am I truly in my healing era? Am I truly healing? Is this coming from the healed version of me, or is this coming from the old version of me? Is this coming from the version of me that felt unworthy, that felt like they weren't good enough, that felt like they had to prove a point, constantly prove a point? Love is not where you chase. Love is not something that you earn. You just should automatically be given love because you simply exist. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and share, and definitely hit the bell notifications. I'm gonna start going back into how I used to do my content, when I would talk about a specific topic, and then I would ask a question and then give my own personal experience, and then give the summary, and then give you guys some feedback and let you guys know. I want to be able to continue to put out these videos and really show you guys, you know, where I'm at in my manifesting journey. I know there's a lot of individuals that show how after the fact. I want to show you guys who I'm truly becoming, and like actually who I've actually become, because sometimes I find myself just sitting there and just no thoughts, no nothing, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? But truly I'm just at peace because I'm in my healing era, you know. And there has been situations where I've reacted to a lot of things that happened at my job, certain things, certain tasks that weren't being done, certain tasks that were unfinished, and I used to be upset. Now I'm just like, you know what? It doesn't even matter, because I'm not going to allow this to disturb me. Because at the end of the day, I have to remember that I am the only person that can self-regulate my emotions. No one or nothing, no situation can make me feel a certain way unless I allow it. So choose detachment. Detachment doesn't mean that you don't care. Detachment doesn't mean that you're walking away from your desire and you no longer want it. That's not what that means. Detachment is choosing peace over chaos, remembering who you are, as Neville Goddard would say. And there was also a quote from Maya Angelou. I wanted to talk about that. Give me 1 second, real quick, before I end this video. I was writing things down, and you know, things just came to mind. But yeah, Maya Angelou, she talked about it. Where is it? She said, no longer swayed by noise, but moved by tranquility, right? No longer choosing that chaos, the drama, you know, but choosing peace, choosing your salvation, choosing to honor yourself, choosing to walk away and know and embody the state of your healing era, embody love, truly knowing, like, you know what, I am loved, I am seen. And I don't need to constantly try to fix things. Sometimes when we fix things, it's like, are we fixing them because we are afraid of losing that person? We're afraid of losing that thing? Are we truly fixing it because we care, or it's just more so like we need this person? Truthfully, look, listen, you don't need anybody. You don't need anything. The only person if anything, I'm gonna say I need God. That's true. But any other person that is on this planet, or just in general, you don't need. It's like when, like, going through a toxic relationship. Why constantly keep putting yourself through the same thing over and over again, when you could just simply say, you know what, I've had enough. This is not what I deserve. And I know that I deserve better. But a lot of us don't believe we deserve better, because deep down inside, we don't think that we're enough. And that's where you need to do your reflecting. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace.